Hey everybody, how are y'all tonight? I hope you can hear me. This is my first time doing a live video in our retreat house like this. So if you can hear me, let me know. I'm sitting in the floor. I was going to do a Facebook Live, but our internet connection here was not working and it was kind of being aggravating. So I thought, hey, we will do this on Instagram. Hey, Autumn. So I wanted to just hop on tonight. I'm on this account because I want to share kind of with my friend base, which is you guys, and I'm wanting to share some information about something that I have just started using personally. I've been sharing a lot about it over on the new blog that I started after we lost Lily. But I am not sharing it as much here, so I just kind of wanted to hop on and like just talk for a few minutes if that's okay with you guys. But anyway, so as many of you know, I lost our baby at 16 weeks pregnant in August 4th, actually, we delivered her. And at that time, I really felt like the Lord was speaking to me to start sharing the journey. And honestly, like, I felt like he started speaking this to me back in April. We were at the beach for spring break, but it was really, it was my birthday week. I turned 40 that week, and there's several of us that have birthdays real close together. So we were like, hey, let's go to the beach. It's kind of like a momentous year. And little did I know that at that time when I really felt like the Lord was starting to say, you need to start sharing, that I was going to have some really tough things happen after that. Now, we had gone through 2 miscarriages before we lost Lily. They were really, really early miscarriages, and it was one of those things where I honestly felt like I didn't have a right to grieve. I didn't have a right to be upset about losing those babies, even though intellectually I knew, like, yes, you have a right to be upset. But I felt guilty because I had had so many friends that had lost babies much later, much more in a more traumatic way, and I didn't feel justified in, hey Brandy, in grieving. And so I just basically like moved on. And then we had a second miscarriage, and it was the same kind of thing. It was like, okay, you know, this is really weird. Like, the first time I could understand, I guess, you know what I mean? Because who am I to think that I would never have to experience that kind of pain or hardship? But then to have it happen a second time, I was like, total blindside. And then obviously, as you can imagine, if you know our story, when we found out that Lily had passed, you know, we had normal, everything had been normal. We made it past that first trimester and felt comfortable and safe, and like everything's going to be okay this time. We'd seen a heartbeat. We'd heard a heartbeat. You know, the first 2 times I lost the babies before I ever even got to see anything on an ultrasound. So it was one of those things where I was like, you know, it doesn't even feel like, it didn't feel real, yet I knew it was real. It's hard to understand unless you've been through it, and it's hard for me to explain. But so the Lord had already started speaking to me saying, you need to start sharing your story. And so then come losing Lily and walking through that season, and still walking through that season. And then feeling like, okay, now's the time. So what I have felt led to do is that God is really leading me into a journey of holistic healing. And the way I see that and feel like He is guiding me is that the point is not to just get better from the pain of losing a baby or losing 3 babies. The point is not to just improve my marriage and have a better relationship with my husband. The point is not just to get healthy and lose some weight. The point is that we are we're like a multifaceted diamond. And in all of those different facets, there's areas where we can improve. There's areas where He wants to kind of polish and work on creating the beautiful gem that He has designed us to be. So that's the journey I'm on. And so in that, I feel compelled to share openly and honestly about a lot of stuff that is really hard. And so I've started that process on a website called leaningonherbeloved.com. A lot of you have already heard me mention that in the past, and you may or may not be following along, or but I do share posts and things from that. But in this process, the other thing that He's really highlighted for me was essential oils. And so I bought a kit. I have this amazing friend, Autumn, and Autumn was actually a bridesmaid. Years and years ago, I did a wedding for a friend of hers, and then when Autumn was engaged, she called me and asked me to be her wedding photographer. And there's just people who are like your people. And Autumn and her husband Ryan, their family, I mean, they're our people. And she's on here. And I'm not saying this because you're on here, Autumn. I'm saying this because I truly, you're one of those examples of what I hope happens when we begin a relationship with a bride. So, my goal as a photographer is not to invest in your wedding day, but to invest in your marriage. And I feel like I've not done my job as a photographer, which may seem crazy to a lot of people, if all I've done is just produced pretty pictures for you. I really want to sow into someone's marriage and their life. I want to be the person that they think of, that they want to be included in the special moments in their life. And so Autumn, that's what happened with us. And so in May, I guess it was, in May, I had seen posts that she, was putting on Instagram and different things. And we had stayed connected through all these years between, we did an engagement session in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We did bridals here. We did a wedding in Charleston, and then a newborn session and a 1-year-old session in Pittsburgh. So I've been like a world traveler because of Autumn. But anyway, so I had seen that, she's a chiropractor. So she was posting wellness posts on her Instagram page, which is the Holistic Nest. And she has tons of resources and great information that she posts on there. And I was always just very impressed with the way that they lived their lifestyle, as far as the way they ate, and they were very clean, and the things that they put in their bodies and that they used on their bodies and in their home. And having gone to their home, with the newborn session, and then a year later, when their little girl Finley was a year old, to do pictures, I was in their home and I saw the foods that they were eating and the things that they were doing. And I realized, that they had a great understanding of how to live a healthier lifestyle. So when she posted something, I paid attention to it because I knew that she was really like living this thing out. And so one day I decided to buy a starter kit and for Young Living essential oils. And because Autumn, it made sense. And I trusted her opinion. I trusted her as a chiropractor, as a doctor, like that she knew that this was something of value. And shortly after my kit came, though, this is what's crazy. Shortly after my kit came, I opened it up and I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is so amazing. And I'm telling you, when you get this kit, it's like opening a present. But I put it under my sink because I found out I was pregnant with Lily, and we got a foster child in the same weekend. So Mother's Day weekend, we had a foster child come into our home the Friday before Mother's Day, and I found out I was pregnant with Lily the Monday after Mother's Day. So I went into that, first trimester exhaustion where I felt like I was doing well just to respond to emails every day. And, anything else felt like more than I could really handle at that stage. And then, about the time that I started feeling better, then we lost her and began that journey. And what was amazing is that God highlighted a place that I'm actually going to get to go to for it's a healing intensive retreat. But this particular place uses a therapy method that is like a massage therapy that releases trauma, releases these things from your body, using Young Living oils and something that's called the raindrop technique. And when I was reading this information on their website, totally not even thinking about this kit of oils that's underneath my kitchen sink, it was like, the light bulb started going off, like ding, 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 ding. This is part of your journey. And when those light bulbs went off, it was like, if this place that is a place of healing and restoration for people who've been suffering mental illness and all different kind of things. I mean, people go there for so many different reasons, but it's an inner healing type place. If they see value in these oils and they see healing coming through the use of these oils, then maybe I need to get my kit out and look at it. So I say all that to say this. Tonight I had scheduled a class for my friends, and we've had like some crazy weather and tons of rain for days and days, and so all my people were not able to come for one reason or another. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to use this as a few minutes to just get on here and talk about Young Living and kind of break the ice with you guys and just share what my journey has been so far. So I want to show you the kit because the kit is so pretty, and like I said, it feels like you're getting a present when you get this in the mail. I found out something new and I'm going to share it with you guys because I had no idea. When I got this, look how pretty this box is. So Young Living has the seed to seal guarantee, and so they make sure that the quality of their product is I mean, it's absolutely unlike anything you'll ever get. But the guarantee, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. So I got my kit out once I actually got it out and started looking it over, and just went ahead and pulled all my oils out and was ready to like get things diffusing and doing all this stuff, but I found out something really funny. So it's got this neat little thing here, and as you can see, you've got all your oils in here. Now, peppermint, I actually had taken out and put in my camera bag. I was using that some during wedding season. So that one is not in here. And do you know, I have absolutely lost that. I have looked everywhere and I cannot find my peppermint. So that's on my next order, is I've got to get my peppermint back. But this is what is so funny that I didn't know you could do. I did not know that this is like a little stand. And I think this is such a neat little thing that they've got here. But you can pull this open and it will stand up. So anyway, if you get one of these kits, just know that this has a stand on the back of it. Now, how thoughtful is that? So anyway, this little kit of oils has already brought so much, I just, I want to say joy, because it is joy. But the funny thing is, and I've shared this on one of my other, on my other Instagram account, is they actually have an oil of joy. And if you go over to my Leaning on Her Beloved Instagram, I've got a story highlight about joy and talking about joy, and how this was one of the first oils that I ordered when I got started, because I felt like if there's anything that I need, it would be more joy. And it would be understanding that I can have joy in the midst of this grief that I'm dealing with, in the midst of the questions that I have, in the midst of the anger and frustration at times and uncertainty. I can still have joy. And so that is one of the things the Lord's really been working with me, is that, it doesn't really matter what season we're in, we can still have joy. And this, when I put this on, I feel pretty, which is so silly. I want to sing like, I feel pretty, oh so pretty. Because, let me just share this. I have not been able to have candles in my home or have perfume or my husband wear cologne for years. Like, I had to get rid of candles years ago because it gave me a sick headache. I had this like allergic reaction every time there was candles or scents of any kind. I used to do 31 parties, and so I would go to people's houses and set up my bags and things to do 31 parties. I've had to ask people to take their scented things out of the room because I would get sick from smelling it. I don't have that with this. It just shows me that there's something different about this product. And that was one of the first things I said to Autumn when I was talking about ordering. I said, what will I do if I can't deal with these scents? She's like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll just buy the oils from you. I was like, okay, praise the Lord. And you know what? I've not had any problems. So I diffuse these in my house. I wear them on my body. The joy, I wear it on my chest. I wear it on my wrist. I've got a diffuser bracelet. I put it on that. This is something that I absolutely am so thankful that I have, because again, it's a choice. Having joy is a choice that I make every day. Now, there's times that I don't do a good job making that choice, and I am working on that. But when I choose to put on my joy, then I am much more capable of actually like walking it out with my family. So just like as a little, info thing, they have oils that you can actually ingest. You can put them in your teas. You can put them in water, like the lemon is really good in water. And you can use these, you can use them on your body as well, but these are for ingesting. And then you've got other ones that are for diffusing and using on your body. But, the reason that I, again, just wanted to hop on here is because I feel like if you're like me, you would probably think, that's not for me. And that's really the way I felt. Number one, because I can't deal with scents. I can't deal with anything. My husband likes to wear cologne, and I am so excited to get some things together to like try to make him some cologne that will make him feel the way he wants to feel. You feel better when you have cologne and those kind of things on. That's why people wear them. But if those things make a person sick, then obviously that's not a good thing. And that's what I always told him. I was like, well, it may make you feel good, but if I can't even ride in the car with you, then that's not going to work. So, when you have something that you can use that is not only going to help you emotionally, that's going to help you physically, that's going to help you spiritually, then it's like exciting and you want to talk about it. So for those that have just joined in, I'm just sharing a little bit about Young Living and what got me started with Young Living, which was a very long story that you missed, but you can watch it on the replay. But I really would like to just say to my friends that are local and friends that aren't local, I want you to have an opportunity to experience these oils, and I want you to have an opportunity to put them on your body, to taste them, to smell them. I want to share like how we diffuse. I want to share just really, what I am finding that I'm gaining from using these oils. And so, that is kind of why I wanted to hop on here tonight. So if you have questions about Young Living or anything I've shared tonight, if you have questions about our miscarriages, if you have questions about the new website, like I mentioned, it's Leaning on Her Beloved is the new website, leaningonherbeloved.com. And there is an Instagram for that as well that I would love, love, love for you guys to follow along. But I'm kind of an open book. I feel like the Lord is calling me to share not just about the miscarriages, but about all the different traumas that I've experienced through my life. So that is part of the journey and part of the process. I wish I was like a content queen and I could just sit down, like write out all this content and get it out there for people, because I feel like there's stuff that needs to be shared. But I can't, what a lot of people don't realize is that when you are sharing the hard stuff, that it takes a lot out of you. Number one, it fills me up to be able to share. So like I know that I'm putting out things that can help someone else that may be coming through something that I've already gone through. But what it also does is it makes me feel like I've just laid all my junk out there, and now you can judge or you can pick it apart or think whatever. And so that's where the struggle is, and that's what is beautiful about vulnerability, because it is so freeing to share, but yet you are basically like laying down with your belly exposed, saying, attack me, hurt me, say horrible things about me because I've just shared some really tough stuff, and now you've got ammunition, I guess, to use back against me. So that is the fight, just to be perfectly honest. That's kind of the fight that I fight, that when I share, that I was sexually abused as a child, there could be repercussions of that. When I share that I was raped as a teenager, there could be repercussions from that. When I share about, going through a divorce, there could be repercussions from that. When I share about the years that I had issues with substances, there could be repercussions from that. So, the thing is, it's like, if we all go around acting like we've got our stuff all together, and, I love Jesus. And if you know me, you know I love Jesus. But if I don't share with people my struggle, then they're going to look at me and think, my goodness, she's got it all together. And I can't do what she does because I certainly don't have it all together. And so that is why I think God is really just saying to me, like, you've got to share. You've got to let people know that, number one, they don't have to be perfect to follow me. He's the one that's perfect. Our job is just to surrender. And that's really, it's like the easiest hard thing you'll ever do is just to surrender. But we don't have to clean up first. We don't have to do anything right because he has already done it all. All you have to do is believe. And so that's why I have to share. I have to let you know that there's nothing that you could have possibly ever done that would cause you to be unredeemable. There's nothing that you could possibly ever have done or do that would cause him not to love you. There's nothing that you could have ever possibly done that would cause him not to want to give you eternal life and to give you his blood and to cover you in his blood. He wants a relationship with you. He wants fellowship with you. He wants friendship with you. He wants a love affair with you, but not affair like in a negative way. It's like that. It's like the ultimate romance story that you've ever watched. It's Nicholas Sparks times 1,000. I mean, Jesus wants to sweep you off your feet and have an amazing love story with you. So I share all of that to say this. If you'd go back and watch the replay, you'll kind of know like all the stuff that I've been talking about because I've been on here a little while. But I would love to share about Young Living with you and what the oils are doing for me, for my family, how we are transforming our home, how we are making healthier choices with our products that we're bringing into our home, to clean our bodies, and then the proactive things that we're doing to try to stay healthy and well. And I can do that either, in your home, in my home. I'm in our little retreat house tonight. I will be having classes every month, so I would love, love, love if you would come. And if you can't come, then I can come to you. Or if you want to have a girls' night, we can do some fun stuff and have a girls' night. I just really, really, really want you to experience what I'm talking about, because I feel like if you get the opportunity to just try some of the products and just to just see. So I think that's all I'm going to talk about. I've been on here like way too long, but I hope that you will watch the replay and just kind of see what's brought me to this point. And I would love to talk more. Send me a message if you have any questions. Thanks.